Yo everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Steins Gate 0. So we heading to Radican, or the radio building, with Maho. So then she's insisting on seeing where Kyuukyuu died. I'm not sure if we're heading in or not, but we've definitely been to the roof of this a few times, and part of me was wondering, is Maho gonna find the time machine now? But I don't know. Let's get going. I'd gone up to the roof several times since then. The time machine was there, and Suzuha Dao would go up once in a while to do maintenance. Just a few days ago, Suzuha had called me out there and pointed a gun in my face. But even so, I'd never been to the storeroom on the 8th floor where it had happened. I couldn't bring myself to do it. Just remembering what happened was enough to cause severe flashback. There was no way I could visit the site of her death. Are you okay? You look really pale. Are you thinking about Kyuukyuu? It's hard to, not. I would imagine. Yeah, I guess so. You don't have to come with me if you're going to be hard for you. I'll go by myself. Her face was colourless. Going there had to be hard on her too. But even so, she was trying to come to grips with Kyuukyuu's death. I wanted to help her remember our friend. The radio building was going to be renovated. There wasn't a lot of time.
Yeah.
No. I'll go with you. Half of this shops had already been moved to another building to make way for the renovation. But many of the shops on the 7th floor were still open. Six months ago, on July 28th, I killed Kyuukyuu on the floor just above where I was standing, with my own hands. Is this the place? No, it happened on the next floor. That's what I was told. I wasn't supposed to have been at the scene of Kyuukyuu's death. Erde asked Mayuri and Daru not to tell anyone. Wait. Even so, wasn't he the one who found her? Question mark? What's upstairs? An event hall and some storeroom and stuff. Can we go up there? It should be off limits right now. But the rope that had always blocked off the way to the 8th floor wasn't there today. I could hear loud voices and laughter from above. Since it was a day off, there must have been some kind of event going on upstairs. It looks like it's okay. Maho headed up the stairs first. I slowly dragged myself up the stairs. We passed by the event hall and into the back. It looked like there was no one around. Nothing had changed in 6 months. This is it. There were no lights on, and the place seemed dark and lonely. This time, the storeroom was locked. I see. So it was a place like this. I could see her lips trembling as she whispered. It seemed strange. This was the place where Kyuukyuu had died, covered in blood, and yet nearly the rest of the world continued on like it didn't care. And now I'd come back, even though this was where the one I love had died. It's frustrating. I'm not a physicist, so I don't know all there is to know about relativity theory, but if space and time are essentially the same thing, then why can't we move through time as easy as we can move through space? Spatially? We're on the same... spiritually? Maybe? We're on the same axis as Kyuukyuu's death. But that tiny little gap on the temporal axis means there's nothing we can do about it. You asked Krisu, I mean, the Amadeus Krisu, an interesting question before. Whether it would be possible to create a time machine. Yeah. I'd love it if you could look into it. I'd volunteer for the first man test. No. I couldn't tell her. I could tell from her tone of her voice. I couldn't tell from the tone of her voice if she was serious or joking. She laughed, sadly. Time machines are real, you know, and there's one right above us. What would she do if I told her that? Would she blame me for giving up on saving Krisu? And say she'd go back to the past herself? Okabe, can you tell me how Krisu died? I don't know the details. I don't really know myself. Didn't I tell you that before? But you know more than I do, right? I was in America. What was Krisu doing in a place like this? On the day she died, there was an event going on like the one happening now, right? We could hear the occasional sounds of laughter coming from the event hall. Dr. Nakabachi. It made the news last summer. I heard that he sought asylum in Russia, and he wrote a paper on time machines. Supposedly the paper itself was terrible. But that made me remember something. Those guys who set fire to Chris's house in America were speaking Russian. Is that a coincidence, you think? Nope. I think the two events are connected somehow. So I decided to look into Dr. Nakabachi. But strangely, there's barely information on him. If you look online, you won't even find his real name. Most blogs and websites that talk about Dr. Nakabachi are gone now, and all of them disappeared in the last 6 months. Tell me, what the hell was Krisu caught up in? Is it perhaps still going on? Are you hiding something? Her eyes were pure and sought the truth. Krisu used to get that exact same look in her eyes all the time. But you shouldn't get involved out of curiosity. I'm done with all this. It's too late. I'm already involved. And I've been wondering if the reason we were attacked before wasn't because of me. Because of you? Is there a reason someone would come after you? And then she paused for a moment. I have some of Chris's belongings. Belongings? Some of Chris's belongings. What did she mean? Mara had said that after Chris had died, she'd gone to her home in America and received some of her belongings from her mom. Was she saying now that the attack was because of that? My mind began to race. Russia, where Dr. Nakabachi had sought asylum. Bloody asshole. The people who attacked Chris's home spoke Russian. And just a few days ago, the Russians, probably, had experimented with changing the past. Sousa had said that World War III would be set off by the time machine. The time machine. Nakabachi's paper. The paper he'd written about the time machine. The cause of the Third World War. A malicious, nightmarish paper which would cause the death of 5.7 billion people. The time machine he discussed at the press conference was a rip-off of John Titor's. But the one in his paper was different. I never managed to read it, though. But my guess was that Krisu had shown him the original that she'd written on July 28th, and his paper was an inferior copy. Krisu had written down instructions for making a time machine. I shredded. Can I don't know why. Oh. Okay, I quickly booted up the Vine program on my smartphone. I paged through my chat logs. That hard drive and the laptop containing the data on the original version of Nakabachi's paper. Maybe Chris's paper. Chris's laptop and hard drive, which were given to Daru. Was the person who gave them to him? I looked at Maho. She looked back at me without smiling. And she nodded. Okay, so at least that's how Daru got a hold of them. Yeah, it was me. From Mao's perspective, there were too many things about Chris's death that didn't make sense. Maybe that's why she had decided to look into why Chris was killed. Of course, she'd assumed that there were hints hidden inside her laptop and hard drive. But if my hypothesis is right, that laptop was too dangerous to be allowed to exist. It was in Pandora's box, with the power to unleash the Third World War. Pandora's box. A box given to mankind by the gods in Greek mythology. We were told never to open it, but a girl named Pandora let her curiosity get the best of her and opened it anyways. The box was filled with disasters, all of which were unleashed upon the world. It said that the one thing that remained in the box was hope. Damn. Maybe you should just get the box and chuck that out as well. I don't know. Anyways. Whew. Why didn't you tell me? At first, I didn't know that you and Hashida were friends. It was really just a coincidence that I gave it to him. And it seemed to me like you were hiding something about Krisu. Do you really think I'd tell you everything? It wasn't that I didn't trust you, but... I thought it would be best to be cautious when it came to Krisu. Yeah, you're right about that. Was letting me test Amadeus part of your plot? Don't call it a plot. You were Chris's friend, and I just want to know more about you. To find Chris's secrets? I wanted to know more about her. She glared right back, as if challenging me. Has Daru cracked it yet? Not yet. That's why I wanted to talk to you before I headed back to America. So that's why she brought me here? Do you need to call Daru right now? Yes, hello? You at the lab now? I kind of wish I'd picked right. For some reason, because the game forced the call, I instinctively wanted to do the other one. But well. No? Then where are you? At home. Fapping to H games. What's up? I want to talk to you about your part-time job. Oh, that. You remember any info on Masakashi? Yeah. Of course that was a lie. He could be in danger if I didn't get that laptop back right now. I glanced over at Maho. Can you send it over mine then? Let's talk in person. Can you meet me at the lab? I'm all tied up right now. Can I wait till evening? You can play your H games later, man. My bad. I lied about the H games. I'm actually busy on my job. Often used as part of a phrase. Lol, 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 lol. My bad. Lol, lol, lol. While theoretically an apology, it's more often used to provoke or annoy someone. I'm actually busy at my job. Your job? Well, I was lying to him too, so don't really have room to talk. Okay. Where are you really? If you can't leave, I'll come to you. I just need to talk to you right now. I don't really want to tell you. I do a lot of dangerous work. Well, whatever. Fine. Come to the address I'm about to give you. The location he gave to me was still in Akihabara. It was less than 5 minutes away. Down an alley, a few turns off Main Strip, all the hustle and bustle and the crowd were completely disappears. We're on the 7th floor of an old mixed-use building. We were in Akihabara, at the center of Tokyo, in the middle of the day on Sunday, and still the alleyway we'd come seemed lonely and abandoned. There we found the shop Dao had told us about. There was a cute anime-style sign on the steel door that read Cosplay Media at Akihabara. We're open, come on in. Oh, it's a group chat. I'm out shopping with Luca. Do you want to join us? I'll meet up later. Really? Where are you now? Akihabara. Then should we meet you in Akihabara once we're done shopping? No, I'm heading home. Once I'm done, meet me there. Don't come to Akihabara under any circumstances. Why? Because I say so. Just wait for me. But if I don't get contact you by evening, give up and go home. Got it? What happened? I'm fine. Don't worry. Until evening. See you later. Okay? Okay. Cool. Made plans with Luke and Mayuri. What? The store was jammed full of cosplay outfits. The wall near the entrance had the new arrival corner and popular cosplay section, as well as cosplay wigs, ribbons, jewelry, and props. The other wall held used outfit selection and a shoe selection stocked with socks, school shoes, heels, and boots. Even further back, I could see rows of school swimsuits and competition swimming outfits. It looked like the place sold mainly to girls, but this clearly wasn't a location where women would feel comfortable. The other attendants in the building were all shady shops with names like Drops of the Spirit God Inc., Space Radio Receiver Sales, and Flower Petal Video Project. You ever been here before? No, last time we met was a different building. It wasn't much better than this one, though. I see. I felt like I'd seen Dao's dark side. The shop was completely silent. There were no customers other than us. There was a thin man with long hair at the corner counter who looked like he worked there, but he didn't even raise his head up from his magazine when we came in. To be honest, ever since I entered, I'd worried that someone would think I was up to something illegal. Yeah, anyone who saw me would think I was a pervert taking a middle-aged schoolgirl to a shady cosplay shop. Hey, Ocarine, over here. Dao appeared from the back of the shop. There'd been no sign of him a second ago. Wait, Maho-tan was with you too? Huh? Would you stop calling me Maho-tan? Why? It's cute. I feel like you're being insulted. Forget that. Where did you come from, Dao? The man on the counter hadn't said anything, which meant they knew he was here. Come with me. Dao head to the back of the store. One of the rows of hanger racks holding idol cosplay outfits was pulled forward, and behind it, I could see a curtain. Past the curtain was a tiny space that led to a door marked staff only. If the hanger rack hadn't been moved, I had no idea this was here. It's like an old ninja mansion. Whoa. Behind the door was a cramped office. Well, no, the room itself had been pretty big, but the darkness made it feel very cramped. It was honestly hard to breathe. There were 4 desks in the center surrounded by metal racks. The desks on the floor were piled high with all manner of computers and peripherals. There were boxes and bags littered everywhere. I couldn't tell if they were trash or not. There were towers of magazines, games, plastic models and figure boxes. The desk covered in garbage just like one at the lab. It was too dark to tell, but I'm sure the figurines he had on display were covered in dust. And what did he need 6 monitors for anyway? I can't really speak right now. I have 4 on. Just, you know, because each of them displayed an image of the store. Evidently, it was footage from a security camera. Given the size of the store and the lack of customers, even 3 cameras would have been too many. Well, sit down, I guess. There's no place to sit down. I'll make you a space. Dao kicked aside the boxes on the floor to make room, and then sat down 2 folding chairs. Oh, thanks. What's the deal with you in this shop? I'm kind of like the leader of us part-timers. I work for a lot of underground places like this. And so sometimes they let me use their offices like this. For your secret job? Yep. Maybe there was a lot more to Dao than I thought. Is all this stuff in here yours? No, it's shared with the rest of the part-timers. I don't have enough money to buy all this stuff. Or so he said, but who knew if that was true? Oh. Oh god! Krisu? Why did... Maybe I shouldn't have answered, but too late. What is it? It's still with Maho, right? Yeah, we're together, why? What's up? I just heard from Dr. Leanskin. The office in Wako City has been ransacked by someone. Oh. And you just got a call from Maho's hotel, someone raided it, too. What did you say? You should hear from Dr. Leanskin soon, but I wanted to tell you ASAP. Thanks, Krisu. Darren and I are looking out for Hyujo, so don't worry. That's right, I'm counting on you guys. Bye. Does Dao know about Krisu? Maho looked down and bit her lip. This is what I was afraid would happen. They're after Chris's laptop and hard drive. Huh? Seriously? We should probably move. I think this place is safe though. Got a bad feeling. Intuition you could call it. Got it. Oh. And where's the laptop and hard drive? Dao sighed and grabbed a locker. A fire-resistant case off one of the racks. He opened it. Is that where you hid it? The laptop was a deep red Japanese model with a 12-inch LCD screen. The hard drive was American, from a brand known for equipping its drives with shock-resistant rubber case. Let's take it and get out of here. Both Maho and Dao nodded silently. So I guess Dao does know about Krisu? Or he's just not mentioning it? As soon as we left the building, I could already see a car coming down the empty alleyway. It was a big American VR. I quickly hid ourselves in the shadow of another building. My intuition was right. The RV stopped in front of the building we just left. 2 men came out. None of them were Japanese. They were all dressed in black suits, almost like MBIs. MIB. Men in Black, an American urban legend, is said that they are secret government agents who appear without warning before UFO witnesses or researchers to put a stop to activities. It's not known whether such a secret agency actually exists. The name comes from the fact that they dress all in black and wear black sunglasses. A movie of the same name, based loosely on the urban legend, helped popularize the idea. Good film, first one at least. Wherever they weren't Akihabara tourists. That was close. I'm glad I took that phone call now. Maho went pale as she saw the men go into the building. She seemed to be shaking a little too. This is like a movie. I can't believe it's real. How'd they find out that place, though? You sure you didn't screw up somehow, Dao? Who do you think I am? A super hacker, right? Hacker? Right. I make sure I don't get caught. Either that or Hyuju and I were tailed. Don't scare me. They raided the office and hotel room in Wako City. I'm sure they've been watching you this whole time. Oh, right. Mars seemed to suddenly remember something. She took out her smartphone and made a call. I need to contact the professor. You should tell him to hide somewhere for today. If we meet up with him, it could put him in danger. Maho nodded. I really hope the professor's not really involved. Clever. Miyato took Maho to Ferris Nanyan's home. It's weird as well, when we're playing, seeing things from other people's perspective, it's told more like a normal story other than through their thoughts, per se. Every time we were with Okabe, it's always his perspective. Oh no, I've just realised I've said I've let Luca and Mayuri down. Kinda sucks, because not really done much with Luca so far. Anyway, first Nanyan's home was the top floor of a high-rise building in the centre of Akihabara. If nothing else, it was sure to be more secure than the ancient building we'd just been in. First welcomed the two of them, offering them food and a place to sleep. Dao returned alone to the Future Gadget Lab to meet up with Suzuha. The mere existence of this laptop could bring disaster. We should get rid of it. Once they both calmed down, she started to talk to him about what they're going to do with Chris's computer. He didn't budge an inch. Usually, he was an introvert who never pushed too hard for anything, but this time he was extremely stubborn. Of course, so was Maho. I at least want to check the password and see what's inside. Right now, we can't do that, but there's no time for that. We should get rid of it now. The best thing would be to destroy it. Destroy it? But this is something Crystal left us, you know? I thought you were a little more logical than this. I didn't think you were this cold. Mao's words made him flinch. Something bad happened to him. That's how it seemed to her. And it was easy to assume that it had something to do with Chrisu. So she decided to ask him what she hadn't gotten to earlier during the fuss this afternoon. Seemed like you're hiding something about what happened to Chrisu. What I know doesn't matter. Mao could tell he wasn't going to share. If they had been interrupted this afternoon, would he have told her? Anyway, what should we do with the computer? The computer isn't something just an old friend used to own anyone. That computer isn't just something an old friend used to own anymore. This is the center of international power struggle. What kind of crazy conspiracy theory is this? You still think it's a conspiracy theory after what happened today? You saw those foreigners in black suits, didn't you? Your office and your hotel were ransacked. Someone set fire to Chris's house. And after that, your lab was visited by mysterious men claiming to be from the FBI. And the attack on the hotel might have been something to do with this too. all these impossible events keep happening one after another, it's not a coincidence. But still, an international power struggle? The whole thing seemed like too much of a stretch for her. Trying to connect every single event was a trap that conspiracy theorists often fell into. But in fact, most things that happened didn't really mean anything. When she began to tell him that, what he said next surprised her. John's Tider prophecy is going to come true now. John Tider? Maho had never heard that name before. Time traveler from the year 2036, who appeared on American message boards 10 years ago. I know for a fact that he's real. I've met him myself. John Tyler said World War III occurred in 2015. The cause would be a time machine. Are you making fun of me? I'm being very serious. You want to know about Dr. Nakabachi, right? He's Chris's father. It's possible that Krisu may be involved in the paper he wrote. What did you say? Maho had read Dr. Nakabachi's paper out of curiosity. Last summer, he proudly announced his paper on time travel to the entire world just before fleeing to Russia. The paper itself, however, was so poorly written that it was of no value whatsoever. She couldn't believe that Krisu might have been involved in writing it. But what if his version was an inferior copy of an original that Krisu wrote herself? What's inside Krisu's computer doesn't actually matter right now. What matters is there are people who want it. Give me a second, I need to process all this. Could what Minato was saying be true? She took a moment to think. Normally she wouldn't give something like this a second thought, but what had been happening around her lately wasn't normal. She couldn't outright deny it. Besides, she was nursing a conspiracy theory of her own. I also thought that someone might be after this computer. But what you're saying is just so different from what I expected. What did you expect? I thought it might be about using Amadeus for military purposes. Military purposes? Well, that explains why that's one explanation for why we saw Amadeus at the end of our time in the invasion world line. Sociology. One of the labs at Victor University, while the Brain Science Institute attempts to understand the process behind thoughts and memories by examining the system used in the brain itself. The Sociology lab's goals is more medical in nature. They develop new medicine treatments by researching the biological and physical effects, in the mind's workings. The lab's research covers a wide range of areas, including sleep, alcohol addiction, and schizophrenia. Interesting. Krista spent a lot of time in the psychosociology labs. She said sometimes they'd been visited by people who looked like they didn't belong there at all. She said that she thought they were from Department of Defense. The United States Department of Defense is also known as the Pentagon due to the shape of the building it's located in. It's America's most high-level defense agency, responsible for controlling the Army, Navy, and Air Force. I tried to combine the Army and Navy. Didn't quite work. Could Amadeus kill someone? How? Well, not necessarily kill, but probably used for planning and strategies. Well, for example, you can... Oh, no. Well, for example, you can take the memories of a veteran pilot and copy them and use them to control drones. That too. Remember what I said about medical applications? You mean copy memory back to the brain? Yeah. If he could alter memory data and then send it back to the brain, he can make soldiers who don't feel fear, or who will carry out any kind of unethical mission without hesitation. My thought was that Chrysia had found proof that they were running experiments like that. Hey, the US military aren't involved in research in Amadeus, are they? Of course not. Are you sure? You're just a scientist. You're not the head of the project. Dr. Leanskin wouldn't let the military get involved either. You're right. Yeah, that's true. All that happened in another world line. World line? What are you talking about? No, forget it. I'm overthinking things. It seemed like he really meant that, and that really bothered her. She wanted to hear more about John Tider, but he didn't tell her anything else. Since she couldn't crack the security on Chris's laptop and hard drive, it did Maho no good to carry them. And just like Minato said, those attacks scared her. So she decided she had no choice but to give them to him. He didn't tell her whether he was going to destroy them or not. Maho, I'm so glad you're safe. When she arrived at her office in Wako City, Dr. Leanskin was already there. He came over and gave her a big hug. Ow. Professor, you're hurting me. Oh, sorry. She heard that the office had been ransacked, but whatever had happened had already been cleaned up. Did you clean up, Professor? It was ransacked, but only your and my things were here, so it wasn't a lot to begin with. I've left the rest in the hands of the police. 2 days had passed since the office had been ransacked. Ma had spent both of them at Ferris's home, and had only today had she gone in touch with Dr. Leanskin to go to Wako City to get her things. They were both going back tomorrow, just as planned. That meant they were saying goodbye to this office. Oh. This time caught the guy who did it, right? Yeah. It's been one thing after another since we came to Japan, hasn't it? It sure has. The two of them looked around the empty office. It'd been a busy 2 months. So what do you think, Maho? Japan's your other homeland, right? What do you make of it? I can't wait to get back and start my research. I feel like I've been doing nothing but putting reports together for the last 2 months. You're so serious, Maho. That, and I'm glad I was able to experience the place where Chrysu spent her last days. Maho. But she hadn't figured out why Chrysu had died. Actually, she had even more questions now. It bothered her to go home with so many questions left unanswered. If only Rito had told her everything he knew. Come to think of it, the thought suddenly occurred to Maho. What are we doing with Amadeus testers? Of course, she meant Okabe and Minato. If both Maho and Leanskin were heading back to America, that meant that his time as a tester was over. That's right. For some reason, the professor was taking a moment to think it over. She wondered what he was. I wondered what there was to think about. Why not have him continue being our tester? Huh? Are you serious? It's a fact that speaking with Lin Tao has caused Chrysu to react in new ways, correct? And I'm planning on adding additional testers in the future, not just him. Is that safe? From a security standpoint? Japan and America are too far apart. If something happens, we won't be able to deal with it. It'll be fine. I believe in Lin Tao. It's not whether you believe in him or not. If he stays on as a tester, you'll still be able to talk to him, you know? But I don't have anything to do with this. Are you sure about that? I'm sure. Then I'll take over dealing with Lin Tao. That doesn't bother me. Still seemed like he was... It still seemed like he wasn't telling her something, but she was too embarrassed to question him further. It surprised her, though, that he was so focused on Rintaro. He seemed to have taken a real liking to him ever since they'd first met. Did he simply like the guy, or was it because he was Chris's friend? Or was there something else? She didn't know. The next day, Maho and Dr. Leanskin returned to America via Natira Airport just like planned. Rintaro had come to see them off, and he was very surprised when Dr. Leanskin told him he'd continue being a tester. And then half a year passed. Oh. Whoa, okay. I am stopping this here. Okay, I was not expecting such a gap. A 6-month gap. Yeah, so thank you all for watching. I'll catch you in the next episode. Where the university grounds were dead quiet. Bye!